some of the techniques you use to keep your mind on the job and not be distracted by all the stuff around?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just realize that, I mean, yes, it's a Grand Slam, and it's every Grand Slam you want to perform and do your best, but and you want to take advantage of the moment now because tomorrow isn't promised. But you also, I don't know, it's like a fine line of playing like your life depends on it, but also not playing like your life depends on it, like in a way that I try to give it my all, and when I leave the court, just knowing I give it my all, but also knowing that regardless of results, I still have things that I can look forward to. I think at the beginning of my career, I wrapped myself too much into the results of part of my identity, and now I no longer do that. I mean, I still get disappointed and stuff, but I don't like it doesn't view the way I changed how I view change the way I.
Coco Gauff just sat down for her Australian Open pre-tournament press conference, and when reporters brought up her blowout loss to Iga Swiatek at the United Cup, she didn't sugarcoat anything. There were no diplomatic answers and no polished PR responses, just raw honesty about what happened and what it means heading into the first Grand Slam of the year. And now her comments are already sending waves through tennis media.
Happens for a reason, and some of my failures in the past I think help me now, and I think I appreciate life much more because of the moments that I guess I didn't win or the matches that I didn't get.
Do you think Coco Gauff can finally beat Swiatek at a Grand Slam in 2026, or does the matchup just favor Swiatek too much? Be honest, does Iga simply have her number, or is this the year the script flips? Drop your take in the comments.
Been eager for there to be more gingers in tennis. So, how does it feel to be part of this tribe now?
It feels good. I thought it would help me out, considering there's another ginger doing really well. So maybe it'll give me some luck because he has a pretty good record here, and I don't. So we'll see.
Hi, Coco. I've always been eager for there to be more gingers in tennis, so how does it feel to be part of that tribe now? It feels good, she laughed, adding that she hoped it might give her a little luck since there's another ginger playing out of their mind this season. He's got a pretty good record here and I don't, so we'll see. Now, to set the scene properly, because context matters, at the United Cup, just days before the Australian Open, Coco Gauff faced Iga Swiatek in what was supposed to be a competitive showdown between two of the best players in the sport. Gauff is a U.S. Open champion, a former world number 2, and one of tennis's brightest young stars. Swiatek is a multiple Grand Slam champion, a former world number 1, and arguably the most dominant player of the past several years. On paper, the match should have been close. It wasn't. Swiatek dismantled Gauff in straight sets, not in a respectable 6-4, 6-4 type loss, but in a complete lopsided beatdown. She dictated rallies, overwhelmed Gauff with precision and pace, and left her visibly scrambling for solutions. The scoreline didn't fully capture how one-sided the match felt. Gauff looked short on answers, her serve wobbled, and her forehand, a shot that can swing between brilliant and shaky, piled up errors under pressure.
Good luck for the Australian Open. I know you were speaking lightheartedly before about your hair, but you made the comment, I haven't done very well here. You've got a semi-final and a quarter-final on your resume. I mean, how difficult is it to walk away satisfied when you've won Grand Slam titles when you don't win one at a
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, I guess, yeah, I should be proud of the semifinal result here. But I was explaining this actually to my friend, and I was just like, yeah, you just don't, after like winning, nothing feels as satisfying like as that. I think the only thing that I would be satisfied with is making a quarterfinal at Wimbledon because I've lost like fourth round so many times. So I think that would be like the only non-win result I would be completely satisfied. It doesn't mean I'm not proud of myself if I like lose, and even the year I lost in the semis, I was proud of that tournament. I think it's just more the satisfying.
It was the kind of defeat that lingers in your head, the kind that makes you rethink your game plan, your preparation, and whether you can really hang with the best when it actually matters. So when Gauff walked into her Australian Open presser, everyone already knew the Swiatek beatdown was going to be the elephant in the room. The real question was how she'd play it. Would she dodge, throw out excuses about timing or conditions, shrug it off because it wasn't a slam, just the United Cup? Listen, none of that happened. No soft landing. Gauff didn't run from it at all.
Top players, it seems like maybe you have these ups and downs, these highs and lows, like even a week like the United Cup, the Budapest Monero match, then like a few days later, the Iga match.
Yeah.
What's that like for you? And sort of how much of a sort of goal is it of the year to get more sort of consistency, I suppose, from sort of match to match?
Yeah, no, it definitely is a goal to be more consistent. But I mean, for me, I just look at it as life. Like, they're 25, 26, and most in areas in life, you're a 25-year-old or 26-year-old is more consistent than a 21-year-old. So I kind of look at it that, but also knowing that I do want to be more consistent. I want to give it my all in each match. But I think it's more so, I feel like it more that stem from just like my serve and having good days and really bad days. So I think the more that stroke becomes more consistent, the more my results will become more consistent.
When a reporter brought up her inconsistency, specifically referencing her great win over Lucia Bronzetti at the United Cup, followed days later by the Swiatek disaster, Gauff didn't flinch. She acknowledged it directly, saying it's something she deals with as a 21-year-old still developing consistency. "I just look at it as life," Gauff said with remarkable honesty. A 25 or 26-year-old is more consistent than a 21-year-old in most areas of life, so I kind of look at it that way, but also knowing that I do want to be more consistent. That perspective is refreshingly mature. She's not making excuses, but she's also recognizing reality. She's younger than most of her top-level competition, still learning how to bring her best tennis every match and minimize the gap between her best and worst days. Then she got even more specific. "I think it stems more from my serve, having good days and really bad days," Gauff admitted. "The more that stroke becomes consistent, the more my results will become consistent." There it is. No dancing around the issue, no pretending everything's fine. Gauff called out exactly what everyone watching her tennis already knows. Her serve is wildly inconsistent, and that inconsistency fuels the roller coaster nature of her results. Against Swiatek specifically, it becomes catastrophic. When facing someone who returns as well as Swiatek, who applies constant pressure, who never gives free points, you can't afford double faults at crucial moments or weak second serves that are attacked mercilessly. And that's exactly what happened at the United Cup. Gauff's serve fell apart, Swiatek pounced on every opportunity, and the match spiraled out of control before Gauff could stabilize. What makes her honesty even more noteworthy is how rare it is in professional tennis. Most players, after brutal losses, stick to safe media lines about learning experiences, positivity, and focusing on the next match. Gauff doesn't play that game. She's been candid throughout her career about struggles, doubts, and specific areas for improvement. That transparency is refreshing and slightly risky. It gives opponents insight, but also shows a level of self-awareness most 21-year-olds lack. Her serve inconsistency isn't new. Sometimes it's elite, sometimes a liability, and she spent years adjusting mechanics, coaching, and practice, yet the mental side remains key. Against Swiatek, that psychological block is real. She knows she must play near-perfect tennis to have a chance, and that pressure tightens the serve, creating a cycle of frustration. Gauff also addressed broader expectations heading into the Australian Open, saying she's rarely satisfied unless she wins, except maybe a Wimbledon quarterfinal. Early success has raised the bar for her, making every tournament feel incomplete without a title. Yet she's learned to separate satisfaction from pride, recognizing effort is still meaningful even if the win isn't there. Her first-round draw against Sofia Kenin is tricky, and potential later matchups could include Swiatek again. When asked about her opener, Gauff stayed smartly vague. "She's a great player, good baseliner. I remember our match from China. That's all I have to say." That shows she knows when to be honest and when to hold cards close. She also touched on personal growth, explaining she no longer ties self-worth entirely to results, a huge skill for someone who's been in the public eye since her teens. The real test is whether she can maintain that mindset under pressure, particularly with her serve, which will tell the story in Melbourne. If it clicks, she's dangerous to anyone, including Swiatek. If not, she may face another frustrating loss. Gauff's press conference also had lighter moments, joking about her red hair, promoting the TV show Heated Rivalry, and bantering with a fan, showing the personality that makes her marketable and beloved. But when it comes to tennis substance, she was brutally honest about her serve and results. That honesty may not win matches immediately, but it demonstrates the self-awareness and maturity that eventually lead to sustained excellence. Gauff knows her weaknesses, knows what to fix, and is willing to say it publicly. Courage that's rare in tennis. The Australian Open will reveal if that self-awareness translates to results. One thing is certain, she won't sugarcoat the outcome afterward. In an era of polished athlete PR, that honesty is almost as valuable as the tennis itself. Coco Gauff faced the Swiatek loss head-on, called out her biggest weakness, and showed the maturity to confront it publicly. Whether that leads to a breakthrough